In today's video, we will be ranking NFL tight ends. Now, we've already done quarterbacks, running backs, receivers. Now we're moving on to tight ends. This is going to be a pretty controversial one because my tight end takes are a little bit different than I feel like a lot of people's are. So either way, stick around to the end. Let me know what you think. And just remember, these are my opinions. We all have our own opinions. It's all fine. Either way, before we get into this video, let me remind you, please go to w.gg. Check out all of their energy drinks and other products. And when you go to checkout, use code SHREDDER for 10% off your order, or click the link in the description of this video and get 10% off your order. Either way, let's get right into this video. So here is our tier list. Let's get started, and we're not going in order. We're just going to go as I please. Either way, this is going to get shuffled around a lot, I feel like. We'll see. Either way, Kelsey, he's going an elite. We don't have to talk about it any further. I mean, yeah. Let's see. This is a tough one because there's a lot of guys, like a lot of these guys, the tight ends, they're decent. But there's nothing else. We'll go Austin Hooper. He's kind of garbage. I mean, you know, he had a good stint in his career. Not anymore. Chigakonkwo is garbage. Ironically, they're both wearing Titans jerseys in this picture, but both are not for there anymore. Greg Dulcich is probably like a D tier. He had that one good minute, but now just nothing. So it's just not fun. Same with Jake Ferguson. I don't care that he looks so good and Cowboys fans think he's the best thing ever. He is a tight end in a pass-heavy offense, and they're going to dump it off a lot. That's why Dalton Schultz is anything. They dump it off a lot. Like, neither of them are very good. They're both fine. They're just players. They're fine. You're not, pounding the table for Jake Ferguson. It's fine. There's nothing big about him. Either way, going on, I'm going to put Logan Thomas in. He's going in D tier simply because of the lack of health this man ever has. He would be like a C tier talent, but just D tier because of availability. That's just where it is. We'll go to Juwan Howard. He's a C tier guy. Problem is, he's just a receiver. That's all he is. And that's fine. You can be that, but that's just where he is. He's not really that great. You're still not pounding the table for him. That's being above. Here we are. George Kittle, in my opinion, I am going to rank these two. I think Kittle is a better tight end than Travis Kelce. Kittle blocks way better. Kittle is almost just as good of a receiver. If you're putting numbers to it, if Kelce's a 99 overall receiver, and he's let's say an 80 overall blocker, Kittle is a 90 overall blocker and a 96 overall receiver. 97 overall receiver. He's right there receiving wise, but he's just a lot higher on the blocking. It gives him a better just combo. He's just a better player overall. Mark Andrews, I want to put him in elite, but he feels like he's always hurt. So I might drop him to A, and I think I'm going to do that because I really do think these two are the only real elite tight ends in the league. I think that's just where that does lie. I think that's it. I think they are the elite guys in the league. That's it. We'll move on from there. Ooh, Trey McBride. He's probably a B tier. We just got to see him do it longer. He had a really good breakout this year. I'm excited to see him do more and become, a really dominant threat with Kyler Murray being able to throw to him. That'll be fun. Hawkinson actually could be elite. He could be elite because he's I think he might be just a little bit better of a blocker than Kelce is. But he's, if they're the 99 and 80 like Kelce was, this guy's like an 85 blocker and like a, 90 receiver, like something like that. I'm kind of shuffling here, but you get the point. Like he's just up there. I think he's better than Mark Andrews at this point. I think he'll be our last guy in the elite tier. Hayden Hurst, he's D tier. I mean, I know he's going through something right now and, feel for him, but he's just not that great of a tight end. They way overpaid him in Carolina. Cade Otton, he really disappointed me as well. I'm going to put him in C tier, though, because he is young. Maybe you can argue the same thing for Greg Dulcich, whatever his name is. I don't care. But he gets to some targets, and at least he showed up a little bit this year. Dallas Goedert is an A tier tight end. He is very good. To me, I think that is my top 5 tight ends. Maybe in that order. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I think I like those 3, and then that seems about right. Either way, I think Hunter Henry is a very good tight end as well. Could he be A tier? I think he could be very back at A tier. I mean, who's better than him that's left? I don't think anybody on the list left is better than him in any way. David Njoku, he's going to be a controversial one. This guy has been hyped up for years, so many years. People think he's so good for what reason? I don't know. Because Not just this year. Before this year, people thought he was so good. When all he did was put up, like, literally average stats every single year. You don't watch the game. There's no one else to throw to. He just doesn't do that much. Just because he's an athlete and he can jump really high and he can run pretty fast for a tight end doesn't mean anything. That doesn't make you good at football. He's a B-tier tight end. That's just all he is. He's not anything better. I wouldn't even necessarily, for sure, put him higher than, what, Trey McBride. I mean, maybe you change him. Maybe you don't. I don't care. It's not that big. I'm not ranking all the tiers. Dalton Kincaid, I do think, is definitely a B tier. He will quickly rise up this and be an A tier, I think. He is a stud of a player and just really solid. Dawson Knox, both Bills tight ends, he's a C tier. He's fine. That's about it. They paid him to be Josh Allen's best friend, and that's cool. But, I wish I could be paid to be somebody's best friend, especially as much as he's making. Moving on, I don't know that we have another A tier tight end. Hunter Henry, this is a bit generous. He probably is a really high B tier. But I think I'm going to leave him at the back at A, just for the sake of it. Because I don't think there's anybody here that's left that's really on his level. I think Pat Freiermuth is probably close. He's probably as close as you get. When he's healthy, that dude is, he's a monster. It's just he's got to be healthy and not in a Matt Canada offense. But when we've seen this guy shine, we've seen him absolutely shine with terrible quarterback play, with a terrible scheme, everything about it. This dude's going to be good when he gets a chance. Cole Kmet's also B tier. Pretty solid player. I think, I'm not super ranking him. I think Freiermuth is the next guy up in this A tier. And the rest of this isn't really ranked. It's just kind of how it's laid out. Evan Ingram, he's probably a high-end B tier guy as well. He's had his issues in his career, but he seemed to kind of lose them. There was a lot of the drop issues, but, it is what it is now. Tyler Higbee, he's probably a C tier guy now. He's probably dropped off a little bit. He's fine. This tier is like, we need to make another tier. There definitely needs to be another tier here. We're moving something around. Hold on. What can I do? This is going to be really lame, but we're going to do the B- tier. It's just, guys who, they're better than these guys. Like, these guys are all essentially replaceable level, and B- is like, they're starters. It's just, they're starters. That's fine. Darren Waller fits into that if he doesn't retire. Sam Laporta is really good, but to me, you can't give a guy higher than that for being a one-year player. You just can't. He had a really good rookie year, but, it was a rookie year. Who's to say next year he doesn't come out and put up a stinker? Noah Fant, he's probably like a B- guy. He's fine. Same with Kyle Pitts at this point. I know it's not his fault. It's the usage. It's the team. They drafted him, and they haven't used him for what he was, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean he's just better because they haven't used him. He's not. It's just, he's just stuck where he is. Bad case for him, but it is what it is. Zach Ertz kind of fits in the same tier. This is a lot of the old guys and then the underused guy. That's basically what this tier is. Conklin, he's like a C tier. You're fine with it, but if you could replace him, you would. If they can have Brock Bowers, they will. That's absolutely true. Zylstra, Wright, whoever. It's not Brock Wright. No, that's the Lions. Who am I talking about? What's this dude? Smythe? Durham Smythe? Is that right? Trash. Out of here. Gesicki, at this point, he might be D tier. I thought he was better, and I was hoping going to New England they'd be good with him, but I just don't know. Michael Mayer showed out a little bit at the end of the year. He'll get B- for just upside purposes, but that's about it. Irv Smith, he's garbage. Dalton Schultz, he's a B- tier. He's fine. He's cool. You're not slamming the table for it, but it's cool. Mo Alley Cox, he's probably a D tier guy. Just replaceable for real. You're not really super happy with it, but whatever. Everett's a C tier. You're fine with Everett. Maybe even B-. We'll put him in B- for some good benefit. And Musgrave at this point, I think he's a B- tier. Lots of upside there with Luke Musgrave. It's just nothing is just outstanding about him. And I hope he gets that way. Tucker Kraft, I think you'd put him in C tier. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody. Another team with like 2 tight ends or something that, I'm not worried about Charlie Warner or Darnell Washington, like a tight end 2, number 2. I'm thinking more of like a team who used a lot of 2 tight end sets all the time. Like they use Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave a lot. The Patriots, they did use Hunter Henry and Gesicki a lot. Things like that. But I don't really think there's anybody else that comes to mind. At least if I'm missing somebody, put it down in the comments below, and I will try to, place him in this list somewhere. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about this tier list down in the comments below. And what position should I do next? I've already done quarterback, receiver, running back, and now tight end. Let me know what I should do next. Either way, I'll see you all in the next video.